guys, welcome back to Apple Time. Today we'll be looking at WWDC 2022 leaks. And to be honest with you guys, it does look really exciting. So let's start with the boring side. I mean, it's still exciting, but compared to like the Mac Pro and M2 chip, it's nothing. So you may or may not know, but WWDC's main point is for all the updates. Now when it comes to software updates, there are obviously much less leaks than hardware. But these are the things that you may expect from iOS 16. So most of these features are actually made for the iPhone 13 and the upcoming iPhone 14. So as I said, there isn't much leaks about it, so I won't really go as deep as with hardware. So let's go to the most likely product that will come out in WWDC. And that is the all-new Apple Silicon Mac Pro. Now do keep in mind that there is a chance that no hardware will be released in WWDC because last year we were expecting MacBooks to come out too and nothing happened. But then look at what Apple said on the M1 Ultra keynote.
We're adding one last chip to the M1 family, and it's gonna blow your mind.
So at the beginning of these leaks, all the leakers out there said that an M1 Extreme will be put into the Mac Pro, featuring 40 cores of CPU and 128 cores of GPU. But according to Apple, M1 Ultra was their last M1 chip family member. So the first possibility was M2 Extreme, but then it wouldn't make sense because that means Apple would leak their M1 Max design. But then what MaxTech said is that there will be a completely new chipset coming. Now, whatever he said makes a lot of sense because that means there will be a completely new chip for Mac Pro, but that would be too expensive for Apple. I mean, to me, creating a completely new chipset for just one device makes no sense because the cost is too high. But as you can see right here, there's also a possibility of 4 M1 Maxes that were put together, but they won't be called M1 Extreme, they will be called X1 Extreme or something like that, so it wouldn't count as M1 family. So regarding specs, I fully believe that this Mac Pro will feature 40 cores of CPU, 128 cores of GPU, up to 256 GB of RAM, and up to 8 TB of SSD because who needs more? Regarding price, I think the base model will start at $4,999 to match the current Intel version. Now paired with the Mac Pro, we would really like to see a new Pro Display Xdr. And there's actually a chance of 2 displays coming out, one with 32 inches and one with 27 inches. But then you might be like, why? Studio Display just came out and it's 27 inches, why is there a need for another one? Well, Studio Display has 60 Hz and an LCD display. So it's not very pro. I mean, just compare LCD to mini LED, there's a huge difference. So regarding specs, I truly believe that they will have a mini LED pixels and a 120 Hz display. They will also feature a camera and speakers and a free stand. Regarding price, I think that the 27-inch one will cost about $3,000 and the 32-inch one will cost about $5,000. Now I'm 101% sure that M2 chip will not be coming out in WWDC. There's too much to talk about it and WWDC has a lot of things to announce already, so it would make sense for them to announce this chip. But I'm sure that it will actually be released later this year. Even though it's not gonna come out in WWDC, I think it's still worth talking about it. It's gonna be featured in 5 new products that I'm gonna show you right now. The cheapest and most affordable MacBook Pro, which will feature things like a notch, more ports, a new 14-inch design, and a much longer battery life. The second one is the all-new redesigned Mac Mini, a 24-inch iMac which will have the exact same design, maybe different color, also featuring the M2 chip. The most wanted redesigned colorful MacBook Air. This just looks amazing, I can't wait for it. And lastly, the iPad Pro with M2 chip as well. This will probably also feature a MagSafe, a better camera, thinner bezels, and a longer battery life. And lastly, let's talk about the specs of M2 chip. So I personally believe that it's gonna feature an 8-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and a much improved efficiency cores. There will also be variations of M2 chips such as M2 Pro, M2 Max, M2 Ultra, and even M2 Extreme maybe. But in 2022 we will only get the regular M2 chip, no M2 Pro, Max, or Ultra, or Extreme. So these are the things that we can totally expect in WWDC 2022. So that was everything we know so far about WWDC 2022. Like and subscribe if you enjoy, and comment down below what next video should I make. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time. Cheers!